Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you a kind of small game this week, but it's also for an unusual platform that we don't really talk much. In fact, it might be that it could be the first game from
Yeah.
this platform, or is it the second? Anyway, the platform is Commodore Plus 4, and I believe this game might also work on the Commodore 16. They should be, to my knowledge, fully compatible, and the Plus 4 was the version with this additional office style productive software pre-installed, something like that. But I think it's presented as a Plus 4 games officially, and the game is called Gravity Boy, and it's been out just a couple of weeks or something like that from now, so it's pretty new. All right,
I
so
never heard of the Commodore. What? Plus 4? What?
Commodore
I
Plus
never.
4, yes, of course, it's from the Commodore family.
Yeah. I
Originally,
The
would
Commodore
assume so.
16.
yeah, maybe you're more familiar with the Commodore 16. That originally, I
No,
think it
my.
was designed as a budget version compared to the Commodore 64, but it's completely incompatible in terms of software. So it has its own games, and you don't actually get that many because, of course, probably the 64 or even the VIC-20 has a much bigger audience, so they
Yeah.
don't usually see games for nowadays, especially for the Plus 4. All right. Anyway, I'll summarize the game. The theme is all about space in this game.
You have to say
And
when it goes green. Does it go green?
all right, so really, really close.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the theme of the game is space. You are a little spaceman in your spaceship, and that got hit by some random object, perhaps in the sky, and now it's broken, and you have to repair it. And apparently, the only thing that works now is the gravity control inside this spaceship. So the whole purpose of the game is that you actually have to find your way around this not so complex spaceship rooms layout, find a certain number of items, I think about 10 items, that then you can use to repair some broken computer terminals in what is, let's call it, the final room of this layout. And the concept, the key idea of the game is that you don't control your character, but instead with the joystick you control the direction of gravity in these whole areas. And of course your character is affected by gravity, so it would just go the direction that you choose the gravity to pull you. But sorry. But so would also other various objects that are in this spaceship. Sorry. So everything falls according to the gravity and the direction you set to it with your joystick. And then, of course, there's plenty of dangers for you to avoid. Some of them are just static dangers, like you have spikes or maybe electric beams or something like that. If you just touch them, you just lose a life. Although, as a matter of fact, you have infinite lives, so it's more of an annoyance than a real loss of something. Then there are floating objects that also kill you by touch, both if they fall on you and also if you fall on them, as a matter of fact. So things like rocks or crates or other objects. So usually when you play this game, in every room you're gonna have to think a little bit how things would fall when you change the gravity. Make sure they don't fall on you, but that they move away and they clear your way toward the various exits in the rooms. And all the things, for some reason, they fall faster than you, about maybe twice as fast. So that's a very key component of the gameplay here, because you have to be careful. If there's something on that way and you move the gravity towards you, that thing is gonna come fast. But on the other hand, if you move it the other direction, it's also going away faster than you. So all things that you might want to know when you calculate your way out of the rooms. And then there are also some monsters, so to speak. Perhaps alien that somehow ended up in your spaceships, and some robots as well. And these other monsters are more complicated, so they move around. Robots follow a pattern of their own. They kind of go counterclockwise all the time if they have some wall or surface to move on. But this can change if some obstacle get in their way, so it's possible also to move them to follow a different patterns. And the alien monsters, there's some mouthers or mouth monsters. They kind of tend to move back and forth, and I have to say I haven't quite figured out exactly how they work, but it appears that if you change the gravity, sometimes they stop, sometimes they start moving differently, like changing from horizontal to vertical, but they are otherwise not affected normally by gravity like the other objects. So the monsters can move on their own, but the way gravity pulls has some effect other than just the pull of gravity on them. And then there's also some other aliens that simply follow you. They move towards you if they see you, and quite fast. So you need to kind of outmaneuver them in the levels. All right, I think actually that's it about the mechanics of the game.
So it's like a sort of exploration game, I think, right? Because it's like...
There's a little bit of exploration, yeah, because the layout is not linear. So you got multiple exits. You have to figure out... have you been there already?
It's a puzzle game, Guido. It's a puzzle game.
Everything is a puzzle game.
More
everything is a puzzle game, yeah.
I would think there's some thinking, but I wouldn't call it a puzzle completely. But there's some thinking required. But let's talk about that in a minute. But about the layout, yes, it's not linear, so sometimes you have to backtrack. Sometimes you have to find like your way back. You can get into a room that doesn't lead anywhere else. But it might be a room that has one of the items you have to find. So I think you pretty much have to explore all of the area before finishing the game. You can get to the final room earlier, and then you'll be shown these 10 computer terminals like in red color, and if you go over them and you have some of the items you collected, they would turn green, so you would just restore that terminal. But if you don't have all the 10 items, you're gonna have to go back and search which rooms you haven't seen so far.
Do we have some kind of map to help navigate, or?
I don't think there's a map in the game, but well,
okay, so you have to map it out yourself.
Yeah, you can map it up yourself. It's not overly complex, however. I think maybe the worst room have 4 exits, 1 per direction or something like that. So it's not really too complicated to navigate.
How long is the game?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And so let's talk about the playability and the longevity of this game. So in general, and this is maybe my first critique of the game, is that it's too short. So if you just play it through, you can finish it in like 10 minutes. If you're very good at it, you probably can finish in 5 minutes. If you know how to solve each room, although there is not a single way to solve the rooms, there's many ways to get through. And I have to say that sometimes I tried some rooms in many ways, and then suddenly I like serendipitously got myself out somehow, not doing anything in particular, but I just happened to find a clear way to the exit by accident. And honestly, I don't think I usually say this thing, but I wish that you had limited lives in these games. You don't. So you can just keep trying, and if you keep trying and you're good with the joystick, it's not so much a thinking game. It's partly a thinking game, but I think the main challenge is being good with the joystick, like good old time players. So I played this with a Albatros joystick that's supposed to be very good, very responsive. But the game is hard. It's hard to control. It's almost pixel perfect. Like if you don't move right in some to get inside some tunnels, you might hit the wall, and if the wall has spikes, you lose a life and you restart the level. I kind of think that I'm still quite a skilled player with the joystick, so I did finish the game like in 10-15 minutes. And
Wow, that's quick.
yeah, so I don't think that the thinking was that difficult. It's more, for me, it was more dying over and over because of that.
It seems like you can brute force everything. That you can just try
Yeah.
until you get there. And,
Yeah, and I think that's why I wish there were some limited lives, maybe plenty, maybe 20 lives, but because otherwise this way, there's nothing stopping you from just keep going until you finish it, and then it's a little bit short, and it's a pity.
Yeah.
No, just keep in mind as well, this is a Commodore 16, so there's not much to work with there, you know, in terms of memory and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know how long it can possibly be. I don't know
Yes,
if you've seen the graphics of this. For being a Commodore 16, I was blown away because it's poof. You imagine Commodore 64, you don't like the graphics Commodore 64, we know this is Commodore 16. It's got probably even less colors or something. I don't know.
This may be better. There's no brown.
It makes it incredible. Yeah.
I really liked it too. I think that, like, quality-wise, I was really impressed by this game. If you look at some screenshots or videos, you'll see it's almost black and white, but it's not black and white. There's some colors used to highlight, for instance, the time counter, which is not limited. You don't have limited time. Time goes up, so it's more for perhaps scoring. It's a sort of scoring, if you want to call it like that. You can replay the game and try to finish it in less time. And then some other small colored stuff here and there, like the items you collected are yellow and the room number is blue, something like that. So it's not like technically the game is only monochrome, but it's a choice to make it
So
look
Diego,
like.
you're saying this is a perfect high score game?
It could be.
Would be.
The time is a score. It's only that it's backwards, because the smaller it is, the better you are when you finish the game. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think it could be very challenging if you want to do the perfect time, because you have to optimize the routing, and you don't want to die all the time. So you basically have to do the perfect game, and then maybe it becomes more challenging and fun to go for that. I could see myself taking up the challenge if everybody is down to do a high score challenge in the Discord or something.
I think that's a good point. You could play the game like that, yes. So maybe that also will give you more replayability, because just finishing it's not that hard, really.
And I don't know this system at all, but does it make sound? Is there some music or sounds? Or
Yeah, sure. There's quite a nice 8-bit tune, really. It sounds like an 80s home computer, really. It kind of goes in a loop, single tune, but it's quite nice in my opinion.
Don't forget 16K. There's not much to work with.
Yeah, that's also probably why there are probably maybe how many 80 rooms. I don't remember exactly how many they are, but not an incredible amount of rooms.
Oh, you didn't talk about the intro, Diego. The intro is mega. Like, the intro is outstanding.
It's fantastic, yes. The intro looks a little bit like a comic.
But for a 16 kilobyte, I was there in the 1980. I was there. I was seeing this stuff. Nothing like this would come out. Even on the bigger computers, they didn't do this.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think if you just look it up, you know what he means, because it looks a little bit like a
comic panels.
Yes.
But even animations in there. It's not even static. It looks nice.
Static, but something goes on.
60 kilobits bytes.
Nice. So yeah, I really love this concept of this style of game, but it's unfortunate that it's so short. I want to check it out. How do you play this? Did you play this on an emulator, or do you own this system? Or
Guess.
No, I
The
don't
Mister.
have a plus 4.
Look at Mister, he's here. So Mister and
Ah.
CRT.
Nice. Okay, well, I guess I should check this out on my Mister as well. One reason to boot that up again, because I haven't touched it in a while.
Right. Anyway, my conclusion is that I love the concept, and I think that's very, very well done. I love the graphical style. Anyway, it is monochrome, so it's not something that maybe catches everybody's eye, but I just love the feel of it. I only wish it was either longer or that something forced me to play it again, like limited number of lives. And maybe one small thing that I would also have added is a little bit more time to think when you get into a new room, sort of starting posed, for instance, so that you can take a look and decide, well, maybe I should go that way, maybe I'm gonna, like rehearse in your head some possible moves to get out, because it starts very quickly. So in some rooms you just die many times before you even notice what's going on and what's the shape of the room. And then it's a
Is that
blessing when
because
you
of,
find a spot to stop and like on a safe corner and stop and think, okay, what am I gonna do next? But I would have added that, some kind of feature like that. But otherwise,
Okay.
really recommend it. And of course, if you have a Commodore 16, you don't get many games, so go check this out.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I mean, just for me, how it looks and how it controls and like even the effect of the gravity seems to do like unless it was my CRT that was going a bit wrong, but it looked like it was doing something on the screen as well, like moving the screen a bit. So really
It's
incredible.
like a bar going over the screen, like horizontally or vertically.
Well, one thing maybe I should mention, well, the gravity doesn't exactly look like physical gravity, so it doesn't accelerate you. You kind of move at steady speed. There's a little bit of inertia, I think, at the beginning. But then everything moves like with constant speed, so it's not like realistic gravity, so to speak. But you can imagine that maybe it's because of the friction with the air. Even though now that I think about, the character has a space suit, so maybe there's no air. Well, okay.
Yeah, well, you
like
could
a
also
physically
think
accurate game, so it doesn't matter.
there's games like this which are on ice, that you choose a direction and then you keep going until you go to the end. So you could think that it's an ice game as well. If it has different graphics, it could have been an ice skating thing or something.
That's a great idea for the sequel. They just copy the game, change the assets, and it's like, okay, Princess on Ice. Yay!
Yeah,
All
Gravity
right,
Boy on
I
ice.
think. Well, I forgot to mention the author, right? I think that
Did you say the title? I don't remember.
Gravity Boy
Boy.
is the
Yes,
title.
yes, sorry. I don't know.
I think the author is LBM, but I don't know exactly what that means. Are these initials or
LeBron.
okay? And now that I read, I think it was actually part of a competition, TND Silk Combo 2025.
Oh, it's really recent.
Yeah, he told us that. Nice. Well, I like this discovery. I kind. Oh, by the way, on the website they show the map. So if you need that, there's a map on the website.
Cool. I didn't know that. I didn't play it, but yeah, I saw
But
it.
it's way less rooms, Diego. You can just count them in the map. It's like
Yeah, maybe not that many, as I
it's
said.
like 20 rooms or something.
Oh, well, it seemed a bit longer, but only 20. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't counted them, but it's not much.
Okay.
Oh well, what can I say? It's just the 16 kilobit bytes. Why do I keep seeing bits, kilobytes? Oh, all right. Well,
Kilobits
that's
will
cool.
be a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. It is quite a nice game. Very impressive for again that small computer. What are you bringing for us, Guido?
I brought also a really new game. I think it released last month.